Movies in the Man Cave.
Hello, and welcome to a mini episode of Movies in the Man Cave. We got a viewer request on YouTube.
We did. Wish I could remember the user's name, but you know who you are.
Yeah.
Asked us to review the Ong Bak movies with Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa. We had done Ip Man and Ip Man 2, and those went over really well. And he said, have you guys seen Ong Bak 1, 2, and 3 with Tony Jaa?
Lo and behold, we have.
We have seen all three of them. So we'll give you a quick review of each of them.
Ong Bak 1, go.
Awesome. Blew me away the first time I saw this movie. Like, I can't believe I had not heard of this Tony Jaa guy before. It's Thai, right?
Yep.
And basically the premise is he's looking for this head that's been chopped off of his village's statue. And, like, he just goes into this town and he just tears the place apart. Like, his stunts are so insane. And this isn't a guy that uses wires and stunts and you know, or stuntmen and all that stuff. Like, he goes out there and he does this stuff. And the flips and the jumps and the elbows and the knees and the kicks is unreal. Unreal. Your thoughts?
I worked at a video store when this movie came out, and I remember we got it in the mail, and I was just like, I have to see this movie. I had seen no previews, nothing, just looking at the cover, looking at the back, and reading about it. I had to see it, and a couple years later, I finally got around to seeing it, and everything you said, it was just amazing. And the fact that he doesn't use wires, like the fact that he literally does his own stunts, all of his action, like, this blows you away. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, he's way better than Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
He's better than Jet Li. I haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee, so I can't compare him to Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
But as far as the fighting scenes, like, they're very different from Ip Man, which we've reviewed, but comparably awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So, number 2. What do you think of number 2?
Premise. I kind of get confused with
This
2
was
and 3.
like not a prequel. It's like back in time. Like, he didn't travel back in time, but it's like one of his ancestors or something, it seems like. And he watches like his parents die right away at the beginning, and then it's been a while.
I didn't hate that one. It wasn't that bad. I say that because of number 3. I didn't hate 2. Definitely still had all the action and everything, but if I remember correctly, it kind of focused more on story. Wasn't that 2?
Well, it's a little bit more on story than
And less flips and action.
Yeah, that one still had really good action scenes, but they were further in between. And, like, to me,
yeah, that's what it was.
so much of the stuff didn't make sense. Like, they had this weird crow guy.
Yep.
And I was reading online, and I guess he's some martial artist that's really famous
So they just
in
threw him in there?
Thailand. Yeah, and they, like, gave him this role. But, like, it's really
Yeah.
weird. He's like this crow spirit ghost or
Supernatural.
something. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. I do remember the fights being really far in between.
But one of the cool fights in that one that I remember is on elephants.
Yep.
And he's, like, running up the trunk of an elephant and backflipping and kicking this guy.
And
then,
again,
like,
that was with no wires, wasn't
yes.
it? Like, that's
yeah.
just-
Oh, yeah. And, you know, they're real elephants and stuff. And, like, he gets, like, caught in the tusks, and then somebody comes down and just, like,
Yeah.
like, smash. And, you know, it's really cool fighting on the elephants. Elephants are a big premise throughout the movies.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So it was, I liked that one far less than the first one. Like, and he, like, co-directed or co-produced the second one.
Yeah, once you do
And
that,
it was
it's
like,
kinda-
I think he wanted to get more spiritual with it type of deal. And I
Yeah.
was just like, no.
And then Ong Bak 3 we watched on Netflix not too long ago.
Yeah. It was garbage.
It was.
I mean, it was just terrible. I can't remember a redeeming scene in it. I mean, it takes up right where the second one left off. So it's still back in ancient times, and, like, he gets the crap beat out of him, and he's got to, like, heal up forever, and he grows
that
a
stupid
weird
training
beard.
sequence where he has a beard, but then he doesn't, but then he does.
It's not a training sequence. It's a training, like,
half-hour block.
45 minutes.
It was ridiculous.
And it's not like, you know, cool, you know, montage music training. It's like him, like, doing these weird yoga poses
Yeah.
for 45 minutes, I swear.
But it
He's
would, like, flash.
dancing.
It would flash from him, like, sitting in front of a statue doing something, and then he'd be, like, whipping his hair back and forth in the lake, and then he'd be, like, hugging a log and squeezing it, and then it would be back to yoga. And it, like, but the beard, and it was just,
It did not. It didn't make any sense to me.
It was really unfortunate to go from 1 to 3 like that.
Yeah, and I thought like the second one, I'm like, oh, it dropped a little bit, but they'll bring it back up for the third one, once they got the feedback. But
Yeah.
no, boy, it was just
And I think too,
nosedive.
I think he even had like even more into it on the third one. Like I think he was like writer, director, producer.
Oh,
like,
really?
Like, I think he was like way into it. But yeah. So 1, great. 2,
One is a top 3 martial arts films I've
Yeah.
seen. I mean, it's up there with
Probably agree
Ip
with
Man, and it was probably the top 2. Ip Man and Ong Bak,
uh,
as far as martial arts movies that I've seen.
yeah. And then 2 is kind of iffy, and then 3 is just not good.
I will throw out a side note. I think between 1 and 2, he did a movie called The Protector, which was pretty good. Really cool fight scenes in that. There's one, I think it's 4.5 minute scene where he's working his way up this huge room and he goes up like 5 flights of stairs and he's like kicking people the whole way and it's insane.
There's just one smooth
One
shot.
continuous take and it's like 5 straight minutes and it's awesome.
That's
It's
incredible.
unbelievable. So that movie's called The Protector. And I would say it's below this, but above Ong Bak 2 and 3. Below the first one, but above the second and third one. So,
Sweet.
but if you haven't seen Tony Jaa, check him out. Look him up on YouTube. The guy's insane.
Yeah.
He's insane.
That-
So, all right. I don't even know if that was short or long. I don't
I
know.
have no
It was
idea.
maybe a mini episode, maybe not. But...
Viewer request.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Well, take it easy, and I guess we'll see you on the show next time. Was that Reading Rainbow guy? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
We'll see you next time. Is that Reading Rainbow? Is that Reading Rainbow?
I just remember, don't take my word for it. Do.
Well, that is Reading Rainbow. We'll see you next time. I think it's Reading Rainbow.
Could be. Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. I miss that show.
That's a good show.
Man,
Johnny
that back to back with Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's an afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Get some Magic School Bus in on that.
Magic School.
Beep beep.